Right, if I was unprepared to talk about Hamnet because I wasn't expecting the trailers to come out, then you can just about guess that I was even more unprepared to talk about the Wuthering Heights trailer. And do you know how I was so unprepared to talk about both of these trailers? Because they're both coming out one after the other on my channel. I generally tend not to do content that is exactly the same one after the other because I worry about you guys getting a bit bored of the same content over and over again. But you know what? When cinematic trailers drop, you've got a small window of time to be able to talk about them, and you've got to jump on it, and you've got to jump on it fast. And so that's what I'm doing today. I'm sorry, I know it's another cinematic trailer reveal, but I have actually had you guys in my DMs saying, are you going to react to this trailer? What do you think? What do you think of the new Wuthering Heights? I've actually had the link sent, and oh my god. Somebody. So I have not watched it. I have not watched the trailer yet. And luckily, this trailer starts when you like click on it to get the link so that I can download the video for this video. It starts with the logo from Warner Brothers. So I haven't even seen like any snippet of this. And I have to say I've kind of kept myself out of this kind of Wuthering Heights drama a little bit, just because there are other better people out there who know Wuthering Heights better, who know the kind of period drama scene, and who kind of talk about like kind of the ongoing stuff for period dramas better than I do, and so I haven't really discussed it up till now. All I want to do on this channel really now is start looking at trailer reactions and then discussing the full films when they come out, like doing a kind of a book film comparison video. If you want more gossip, more news, more kind of like discussion around Wuthering Heights as a period drama and all that kind of stuff, then please do check out my friend Kayla and her channel Regency Rumours, because she's already done definitely one video. I feel like she might have even done 2 videos already on Wuthering Heights. She's your go-to for this actual period drama. I'm just here to review the trailer. I'll watch the film when it comes out. I'm not going to go to the cinema. I'm sorry, I don't want to go to the cinema to see it. You guys like it when I react to trailers having never seen them before, and so before it gets spoiled, before I accidentally see it on TikTok or it comes up on a YouTube short, let's get into watching the trailer. Let's watch it together. As always, we watch it all the way through once without stopping, and then I will go through again and I will stop and I will discuss bits along the way that I think are interesting or horrific, as I'm expecting in this trailer. Let's just jump into it and see, and then I will give you all of my thoughts. Right, let's get into it.
Father, I can follow you like a dog to the end of the world. Fall in love. Father. Anything quite right. What? Oh, yes, fine. Fall in love again and again, 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 fall in love aga
Do you want me to stop?
What? What? Oh my god, there was so much to take in there. So much to take in. I feel that it's a little bit like the Hamnet trailer, not in content, but in the style, very much like starting off quite slow, and then by about 2/3 of the way through, it's just like bang, 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 you know, with like different shots. And I get that. I like that it's a very short trailer. Again, it's about the same length as Hamnet was, but it's showing as much kind of clips and snippets of visuals without giving away too much of the plot. I hate movie trailers now that are so long that it feels like you've seen all of the events of the film before you even see it. Whereas this is very much, it's a teaser. It is a trailer that makes you go, ooh, ooh, what's that? What's that? Oh my God, what's that? And especially with this one, you're like, what is that? What's going on? I mean, there was just so much to see. Let's go right back to the beginning with this. So right at the beginning, I mean, first of all, the first thing that hit me was the music. The music straight away sounded incredible. That kind of electronic zzz kind of sound. Do you know what it does? It instantly stops you thinking about it being a period drama. It is a modern sound. It's electric. It's got a bit of synth in it. It immediately, audibly cuts through all of your expectations about what it means for something to be a period drama, for what something means to be a Bronte adaptation. Sorry, I had a bit of a brain fart then. Everything that you've come to expect from a Bronte adaptation, everything that you've come to expect from Wuthering Heights. And then you couple that with this visual of, quite frankly, what looks like a fantasy background. I guess with the mill there on the left, they're trying to allude to like the industrial kind of heart of Yorkshire. But then the house with these rocks at the back, I mean, I know Yorkshire and I know West Yorkshire very well because I'm from West Yorkshire. There is nothing, just to put the record straight, there is nothing in West Yorkshire that looks like this. So it, for me, that instantly says fantasy, like almost like a fantasy landscape. So is Emerald Fennel instantly telling us that this is going to be a fantasy reimagining? Maybe because of some of the other visuals we saw along the way. Let's keep having a look. I love this shot. I mean, so again, Kayla at Regency Rumours has done a huge video about iPhone face and basically actors who look like they are too modern. They have too much of a modern face. Now, I absolutely love Margot Robbie. I think she's a fantastic actor. I don't have anything against her as a person. I'm not going to sit here and judge her visuals, her kind of her structure, her face shape or anything like that. She does have a very modern looking face, and I don't think that's her fault, obviously. The kind of interpretation of beauty and the kind of societal kind of box drawing around what beauty is has changed, obviously, over the centuries. When people are creating these adaptations, they've got a choice to make. Do they go with someone who is aesthetically very historically accurate, or do they go for somebody who has got the creative skills, who is able to take on that kind of role, but maybe visually they're not necessarily what you immediately think of when you think of Cathy? And I think that is the side that Emerald Fennel's gone down. Obviously, I think she's then gone down to it to a huge, bigger degree because she's looking at a lot of other stuff. She's changing a lot of other things in the story, and lots of other different things. Things are quite obviously going to be different in this film. So I don't think it's a problem, really, that Margot Robbie is in this role. Do I like Margot Robbie's choice, like her as a choice for Cathy? The other thing as well is that I would have really loved a Yorkshire actor, and I know that we don't really have many big name Yorkshire actors. Lena Headey is from Huddersfield, and also Jodie Whittaker is from Huddersfield. Both of them are far too old to play Cathy now. Cathy was supposed to be in her teens, and arguably Margot Robbie is too old to play Cathy. So neither Lena Headey or Jodie Whittaker are suitable to play Cathy. But it would have been really great to have an unknown actor. Even if you go for a known Heathcliff, have an unknown Cathy from Yorkshire. That would have been cool. But let's get into this. Again, this kind of audio, this kind of disjointed, electro-sounding voice, even though it's over something that is so tactile as bread kneading. It's also very erotic. I think that's the whole point of this shot. It's just such a disconnect that is really interesting.
Fallen. I can follow you like a dog to the end of the world.
That little clip of Jacob Elordie saying, I can follow you to the end of the world, sounds okay in terms of his accent. But come on. I don't think accent accuracy is really important in this film. So, that dress, what is that dress? why does she look like a milkmaid? I mean, these costumes, I think the costume choices are interesting to say the least. There's a slight nod to history, as in you can tell that this is supposed to be in the past. But is it a fantasy past? Is it a Lord of the Rings-esque reimagining of the past? Is it a Wheel of Time reimagining of the past, where you know this is supposed to be either the past fantasy or like a future post-apocalypse fantasy? I don't know. This as well looks like a set. I'm sorry, it looks like a set. Why is there like rock on the ground, but then these really tall like plants growing up? It just screams set. And you know me, I hate a set. Now, that is not a set. That was going to be my next point, was that these stables look beautiful. And I'm sorry, I'm not... Obviously, there's a half-naked man. You're supposed to be like, oh my God, half-naked man, amazing. I'm more interested in the architecture of the stables. I'm sorry. These stables, there are quite a lot of surviving examples of stables like this in different stately homes. I don't know where this will have been filmed. I can't recall to mind any stately homes that have got blue tiled backgrounds in their stable blocks, but I do know that a lot of this was filmed in the north of England, because for my anniversary with my husband, we went to a hotel, Simonstone Hall Hotel in the north of England, and we stayed there. And then just a few months later, Margot Robbie, Jacob Elordie, and a few other people, Emerald Fennel, actually stayed in the same hotel when they were filming. So I know that they were filming in the north of England, and up around that way, you've got places like Castle Howard that have surviving stables like this. There's a number of other places they could have gone as well. But these are real stables, from what I believe, unless they have been very faithfully recreated. I'm not sure they have. I think that's surviving. Because if you look at the wood here around it, that is an old piece of wood. I think this is a proper building, but I think that other shot is a set. So what they may have done is they may have built the set around this little bit of stable block so that you can't see the modern gift shop and the modern toilets behind. That's what I think is most likely to have happened there. Okay, I'm not sure what all of this like kind of obsession is with touching food. There's probably some very kind of like, I could probably do some research into like the literary symbolism of food as erotica. There's a lot of like, even just scratching the surface, eggs, fertility, a woman has eggs. There's all of that kind of thing going on. It's obviously supposed to make you go, ooh, I'm not quite sure about that, which is the effect that they're going for.
What? Oh, yes, fine.
I loved that bit. I loved that bit of the audio as Heathcliff opens the door. I'm going to have to listen to that again. I liked the fact that there was all this kind of stuff going on, and then there was a break where there's an actual little bit of scene from the film as well. I thought that was good. Let's just go back. And the sound that comes with it as well was great.
What? Oh, yes, fine.
I thought they did that so well. The yearning, the way that kind of she looked at him, and just an instant explosion of sexual tension. That was a great moment. That was a really great moment, and I liked that use of music. I'd be really intrigued to see if the use of music is like this in the actual film as well, or whether this is the trailer. This scene made me go, when I saw it, and I may have pulled that expression when I was looking at it. I like the fact that the font, and also I'll come on to show you in a bit, but the movie poster, the actual movie poster itself, I like that they're kind of harkening back to kind of 70s period dramas. There's that kind of almost Gone with the Wind style. I kind of like that. But obviously the big thing to look at here is the red floor. Red, obviously, again, a huge symbol connected to womanhood. We think of red probably most at the moment with The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. Her women in that book and in the show are dressed in red. Red is a symbol of blood. Again, it's all tied into fertility and that kind of thing. This looks like a painted floor, or like a PVC floor or something like that. It doesn't look like it's meant to symbolise a room filled with blood or anything dramatic like that. So who knows? Who knows? I mean, this could be a set. It could also be a real building that they've then done something with the floor, but I'm not sure. We can just see behind the word "this," we can just see this really flamboyant fireplace, which looks like feathers or fire or leaves that are all kind of like going like that are kind of fanning up away from the fire. This is the shot that we've all seen. A lot of people have seen this particular shot as one of the production stills, so we're all quite familiar with this dress by now. It's completely mixing kind of historical styles. This almost harks back to, well, it kind of harks forward to very modern bridal dresses that we see now, but also kind of harks back to almost like the Tudor period with the kind of the big dress and the very fitted kind of corset style, obviously not the off the shoulders. I kind of love the kind of her walking across the moors to get there. I haven't seen much moorland though, and I feel like that's something that is so visceral in Emily Bronte's novel, is just that connection to the land and the place and the moorland, in this book, and I'm not really seeing a lot of that. We got more of it, interestingly, in the film Emily than we seem to be getting in this at the moment. It may be in the full film, but I'm not getting much of that in the trailer at the moment. I love this shot. I saw this first time around. This reminded... that is Gone with the Wind. That is the Gone with the Wind poster, isn't it? I mean, it's not in terms of their faces are facing each other in Gone with the Wind, but the colours, the red and the sunset and the text over the top, that is Gone with the Wind. And I think that's what it's trying to hark to a little bit in this particular shot. This, oh God, why do we have corsets next to the skin? Bernadette Banner's going to be losing her mind if she sees this. Corsets did not go next to the skin. Corsets were worn over your dress or your nightgown. I say this again, if people want to see a very good example of historical costumes, please watch the latest Emma. Again, I'm not sure we're supposed to be going for historical accuracy at this point. There also appears to be glitter in the lacings there that she's being laced up with, so... I'm not sure what that's all about. I don't particularly want to know. Let's skip. There's a lot of touching of mouths. I think this shot here, obviously Margot Robbie's touching her mouth, but here in this shot, there's her hands. Oh God. There's a lot of touching of fish mouths as well, but there's her hands on her mouth, but there's also somebody else's. There are 3 hands in that shot. That looks like a man's thumb, so I'm assuming that's Jacob Elordie. There's a lot of touching of mouths, again, that kind of soft erotica style. And then here was, is she thinking about when he put his hands in her mouth? Like, yeah, again, strange costumes. Not really sure what's going on with the bright blue curtains in the carriage, but I kind of like the lusciousness of it. I like there's something to see. There's something that's kind of attacking your eyes in every single scene. I also kind of hate it because it's not Wuthering Heights. But let's keep going. Yes, finally, a scene of the moorland. Look at that. Beautiful Yorkshire. Absolutely beautiful. That is a lovely shot. That shot of her boobs. 10 out of 10. Your lady area looks fantastic in that shot. If I got a shot like that, I'd be thrilled. Not sure what he was doing though. Sorry, I was distracted by her breasts, to be quite frank. But she looked to be being put in some kind of head dress, and then he's whipping. I mean, whatever floats your boat, love. This is all symbolism, isn't it? And do you know what, actually? There's a tear here across. And this all almost looks painted. I wonder if there's some kind of like dream sequences where kind of reality and her own mind are being shown. So some of these shots, which are a little bit more fantasy led, are more of her dreamscape or what's going on in her mind versus the reality. That was a scene of them in that room, that painted room. So that suggests that this has been painted especially. But I still can't make my mind up on that, whether that's a set or an actual room. Oh, it's hands. Oh my God, it's hands above the fireplace. Oh, it's a set. It's definitely a set. It's all hands that are reaching out of the fire and up the wall. That's amazing. God, I hope we get a better shot of that in the actual film. Wow. Okay. Oh, and there's hands holding the lights up. Are those hands out of the top as well? Are those hands supposed to look like horses? Oh my God, I'm seeing so much in the background of this shot. Gosh, I hope we get like some really good shots of this room. I'm so intrigued. Very, very fantasy again, but also it's still reminding me of Alice in Wonderland. There's just too much to see. I'm kind of like pausing every couple of seconds just to try and see things. I love that of them, it ending with him grabbing her while they're outside. I'm not sure what this is about. Yeah.
Do you want me to stop?
Oh, do you want me to stop? No. That was such a great place to stop that. And then there's that kind of that sound from the music again. The music as well. Filmed by Emerald Fennel, which we knew. Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordie. Original songs by Charlie XCX. Brilliant. I like that idea. I really like that idea. And like I say, I really like the kind of the modern music with the film. I can't say period drama because the period drama feels tokenistic almost. Crikey, what do we think? I mean, I'm so glad that we've got so much to look at now, because I feel like all we were existing on was a couple of production stills. We couldn't really get a feel for what the whole intention of this film was. I feel now like I understand a little bit more about what Emerald Fennel's going for. I think it is going to be like almost like a fantasy imagining of the book, and it's going to be a real discussion over the position of women in society. I feel like there's going to be quite a lot of discussion around that, about the position of women in this kind of very tight-knit kind of community and in this time period as well. I think there is also this kind of dreamscape kind of what is reality and what is not that I really am looking forward to getting the answers to. I'm making assumptions based off what we can see from the trailer, but I'd love to know how much of the kind of base plot is going to be fantastical and how much of it is going to be like Kathy having dreams or Heathcliff dreaming or somebody along the way, and kind of this kind of dissolution into madness as well, I think is really interesting. I love the shots like the one that I've just put up as the still, where there is that kind of history element to it, but I'm also really intrigued by these sets like the red room with the red floor and the hands everywhere. I just really love the idea of that kind of coming together. So overall, what do I think? This has actually made me a little bit more excited to see the film, and I didn't expect to feel that way. I think that Emerald Fennel is so into her literature. She's so clever that everything she does has an intention. And I think throughout all of the kind of things that were coming in terms of like the production shots and the rumours about the advanced screenings, which were just talking about the kind of shock value of the film, I was kind of hoping in the back of my mind that we would get the Emerald Fennel intelligence in it, but I was really worried, and I was really starting to think that it was all done just for shock and awe. Now that I've seen the trailer, I will take back a little bit of that thought. I think that there is intention behind what she's doing. I don't think she is just trying to make the next kind of big shocking film or the next Saltburn or whatever. But I do think that whoever has done the marketing for this film has created that film, has created that kind of shock and awe. let's be honest, it's all down to marketing, and if you don't market a film properly, then people don't come to see it. So she's obviously got a very good team behind her that are drip feeding bits and pieces out in terms of like what the show's about, what the film's about, so that people will go and see it. So I think we've slightly all been taken in a little bit by the game of marketing. So now that we've all got the trailer, I think we can all make our own assumptions about the film. People are going to hate it. I know they are, because it's not Wuthering Heights in the way that we know Wuthering Heights, the book, and in terms of previous adaptations. I think we need to completely separate it from what we know of Wuthering Heights and from previous and from kind of standard period drama tropes. This needs to sit very much within the Emerald Fennel style. I see what she's doing. She's creating a very unique and distinctive style of her own. You can't deny it's an Emerald Fennel film. So I think I'll leave that there, actually. I think I've said everything I kind of want to say about it. Like I said, I am going to see the film. I will watch it, and then I will give my thoughts after that. So I'm not necessarily going to be able to react to the film as quick as everybody else does, but I think that's okay. We're more interested in it in terms of like the film itself, but also because it is an adaptation of a book. And that's what I do on the videos where I look at movies or TV adaptations. It's all about kind of the comparison with the book. I know it hasn't necessarily been for this trailer, but I feel like this trailer's supposed to be quite a snappy video where we look at the actual trailer itself and kind of what we think the film will be like. And then when it comes to actually discussing the film as a whole, I can go into more comparisons with the books. I'll also go into more comparisons with previous period dramas as well, and we'll look at some stuff from that. So, what did you think? What did you think of it? Are you excited like me? Are you kind of looking a bit forward to it now? Or are you absolutely repulsed? Are you like, absolutely not, don't want to see it? What do you think? What do you think? Right, I will leave this here. Thank you very much for watching. Please do consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed. Join the Patreon if you're interested. All the information about becoming a patron is in the description box, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.